in total, back again with some Shogun 2 Fall Samurai, scramble for the Far East, and in the last turn, we have just declared war on the United States of America. We're actually gonna assault the United States, not this turn. Actually, no, we are gonna assault the United States this turn, but before that, we're just gonna build some stuff. As you can see, public order is pretty dang happy all across the board. We're gonna end the turn next turn, so we are gonna do it next turn. And I'm gonna show you guys what is going on with the United States. You can see some troop movement not to our border, but they have been deploying their agents to our border. Agent detected. That's not good, but hey, what else can I do? There is another American army that I just found. Literally left and right. Yeah, I just did away with one of their geishas, but it did fail, so that's interesting. I have an agent named Friedrich, and I also have an agent named Frederick. So Frederick and Friedrich, one with a K, one with a H. So great. Yeah, that's a problem. We are getting bombarded by the enemy coastal batteries, and literally that's not pretty. Our units need to replenish, but this is winter, so it's gonna be a problem. And I'm just gonna give them Grizzle Needle Gun. And that's literally because I think the Drizzle Needle Gun is way better than this Hungarian book. So, Needle Gun it is. And Needle Gun, for those that are interested, basically improves the accuracy. As right now we are attacking Musashi, and as you can see, the defense of Musashi is pretty dang good. I just decided to auto-resolve it because there's no way in heck I'm just gonna be taking less casualties than myself leading the attack. So the result comes in, we lost 721, is better than what I can do at this massive fortress. Musashi is multiple tiers, and yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, we just level up Gunther, who is I really want to adopt him at this point, because yeah, he's a way better general than our actual heir, Rolf. And I'm gonna give him aggressor, and I'm gonna give him the choices between whiskey and soldier's mistress. I gave him a soldier's mistress. And continuing on, we're just moving I've just captured Musashi. That means I also get the port. I'm trying to bombard Sagami, but I do not want to be within range of its coastal batteries. And coastal batteries do take a heavy toll on your ships. We are replenishing even more slowly because we just auto-resolved the battle. Once again, our economy is on the board, 19 koku per turn. Once again, we're just going to be watching what the United States does. One of its armies in the north, a small army of probably 2 units, is in hiding. They're moving even more armies west, which is not understandable because the main threat is me. Literally. Public order is very happy in Musashi for some reason. I just literally captured it a turn ago, and they're like, they love me. So that's interesting. I'm trying to assassinate their geisha because, yeah, if I don't assassinate them, they're gonna terrorize my army. Literally. I'm gonna bombard the target, but because it's only one ship and that ship is literally pretty much destroyed, we're gonna be having a hard time. The enemy military advisor, the American military advisor, sees me, and I'm just gonna move to Izu, and we're just gonna see what the United States have. They have a gold producing center, which is massive. That's gonna give them a lot of money, koku. What are we doing this turn? We're just waiting for our army to replenish. This army is taking almost literally forever to replenish. And the reason simply because, once again, we are 1 in winter, and 2, we are having problems left and right with replenishment, and after we just auto-resolved settlement battle, it's going to be even harder. We can recruit another military advisor to speed up replenishment, so that's wonderful. And we're just going to go to the next turn. The United States is moving armies to Izu. They have deployed 1 army near Sagami, and once again, I believe that's not a lot of units. To be exact, let's see, that's like 5 units. We're gonna have them train troops, supervise recruitment in Musashi. And yeah, that's gonna still take a 10 turns and 2 turns for my general, but it's problematic. It's the Sagami is even more less problematic to assault, but I kind of made a mistake here and I literally helped destroy the infantry school. However, I put my gunboat in range within the enemy coastal batteries. That means I have to assault this turn as of right now, so you can see me here on the battlefield assaulting Sagami. And once again, we are starting off from our artillery battery. My mortars are right behind this artillery battery, behind my infantry, and they're just taking out all the towers. And speaking of the castle, this is how big Sagami is. To be exact, the official name is Odawara Castle. Odawara Castle has multiple tiers, 4 or 5 tiers. This is the top tier. This is actually to keep the castle. This structure is wonderful. You see the first tier, the second tier, the third tier, the fourth tier, and a moat surrounding this. And obviously the moat is passable, but however, it is gonna be a pain, especially this is winter and we're gonna take attrition. What does the enemy have? More militia. For me, I have my new lifeguards, Hessian infantry, as you can see right here. Before that was Marines, more Hessian infantry, Württemberg infantry, so that's new in their light blue, dark blue, my bad. And more colonial infantry. Once again, our mortars are preparing to fire. As a matter of fact, they're going to fire right now. Oof. And they're just focused on taking out the tower. And obviously, after much artillery bombardment, and we are just moving up through my. This is actually my. I just added this unit to my army. Well, this is the first battle with it, in-person battle with it. This is the lifeguards, and lifeguards ones, like I said, are the most insane unit I can ever get. And it's literally because they have better everything. They have literally all stats across the board. The only problem is that they have more upkeep, which is wonderful. Another good thing about lifeguards is that they do not take attrition during winter season, so that is amazing. So we're just gonna watch them open firing, along with my Marines to the left. As you can see, how fast lifeguards are firing compared to Just to give you the effects of how devastating this firing is, you can see here slowly, we're getting some kills left and right. As time goes on, it just becomes a big pain for these guys. These guys are, I believe, militia, and these guys are wearing Western uniforms, but they also have problems. Their range is also pretty poor. For some reason, they're still using the 300 years ago Portuguese platforms. And back to my European army. Our lifeguards is just opening up, and this is when you put 300 years ago matchlocks against my modern army. And these are the best soldiers in the army. Lifeguards, for those who don't know, are literally the guys who protect the emperor or the king. In this case, these guys should be protecting like King Frederick. But after you're in Japan, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I just say it's a wonderful thing. For those that are wondering, what is this uniform that they're wearing? The uniform they're wearing with this massive hat is one of the grenadier hats that Frederick the Great, yes, that Frederick the Great used way back in War of Spanish Succession, I believe. Yeah, Spanish Succession. Once again, I'm just having my two most not veteran units, my colonial line infantry, move up through the gap. Almost all the enemy defenses have been silenced, and followed right behind my colonial infantry is the entire massive army that I have: Marines, Hessian line infantry, lifeguards, Württemberg infantry, and almost everyone else. We were blobbing up, but hey, we're just storming in. We don't care. We have so many numbers and it's gonna work. You can see right here, I'm just forming a line, and the reason why I'm forming a line because in the distance you can see American troops just moving through to prepare to destroy essentially this breach, and I'm lining my colonial infantry that came in first up ready, because in the distance you can see American levies moving. To the right, the situation is more problematic. We have 2 units of American light infantry, 2 militias to be exact, and I'm just forming my units up to open fire. As you can see in the distance, some men are falling. The unit on the right, my right, the enemy unit on the right breaks. They're coming straight towards us, but they're really running away. The unit on the left is more problematic. They have more men, but they have weak morale, so we're just gonna eventually rout them. On the left, I have my more colonial infantry just opening fire on this massive blob of even more levies right in front of us. They're so far away now you can't really see them. And same thing goes for my literally my Prussian lifeguards in the water, as you can see. Once again, a wonderful job by the team with the flags and colors. Now, as you can see, all the siege is going on. I'm setting in my Marines to push through the gap. We're storming through the second layer. Yep, this is the second layer. Yeah, we just gone through the first layer, and it was painful, especially with all the defenses, all the time we had to take. As you can see right now, we're just preparing to go through this third layer, and we're just burning the gate. So, yep, this is how the gate burns, and once again, it is a wonderful scenery. As you can see, my mortars are trying to help out, but eventually I tell them to stop after destroying the wall, so yeah, they're not gonna really help out. I order my troops to prepare to storm in, and the second the gate burns, we go storming in. I was hesitant there because I was trying to see if the gate will explode. Sometimes when you burn a gate, the gate will explode. So we're just storming in because the gate technically already has exploded. So we're just moving through, as you can see, the wonderful colors and standards of the Marines. And we're just gonna move through. Back on tier 1 of the fortress, my bad. The enemy army is just coming straight forward towards us, like, and as you can see, my lifeguards in knee-deep water. Sorry, not knee-deep water, leg-deep water, essentially. The water is very high. It's facing back a lot of enemies. They're just straight outright charging at these lifeguards, and they're not even attempting to fire. Which is a good idea, because technically, if you come in short-range combat, you might actually do some damage, but then lifeguards are literally, lifeguards are the most terrifying unit. They are not only good at shooting, they're also good at melee. As you can see here, I moved up my Prussian, this is the third tier, and we're just having our Prussian units, Hessian infantry storm and fight against the enemy, levy militia. And for some reason, I told my Hessian infantry to fire, but they just kept moving forward, and then all I had to do was literally move them forward, and they finally stopped and opened fire at point-blank range, which is what you see them doing right now. Eventually I had most of them stop firing, and then most of them were already engaged in melee, so that's not a big problem. As you can see, once again, the different standards and colors, these ones are using the colors of Hesse and Castile, and even their colors, regimental colors, are different. As you can see, this one is the one of Württemberg, and their regimental colors of Württemberg. And what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to move through this gap, and we're just going to be storming in. On the right flank, more Hessian infantry are just opening fire. I'm gonna give them a little gap so they can shoot through, but it's not a big problem for my boys. They're just doing wonderful amounts of damage against the enemy. And you have to remember, this is a militia. At this point, we have not come across train American professionals. So we are obviously winning. Once again, I really do like the detail of the uniforms. Not only the uniforms, but the major backpacks, no, the so-called backpacks they have. These so-called backpacks are actually campaign luggage. Like, most of the soldiers will keep their stuff in campaign luggage. As a matter of fact, during the Napoleonic Wars, a French soldier was seen carrying back a bread maker. And that was the funny part, because the Duke of Wellington, who was watching the entire ordeal, was literally wondering what the heck is going on with this Frenchman who is trying to take this bread maker back home. But anyway, as you can see, the Americans moved some good units. Well, this better unit is literally, once again, militia. And instantly they're gonna get bombarded by my orders. They're not only gonna be bombarded, they're gonna be also fired upon by almost every unit I have possessed. And because they have the castle, which has a morale bonus, they actually stand strong. They do not break, but most of them are getting killed, so that's wonderful. For me, at least. On the right, on the third tier of the keep, we are just fighting the enemies with my lifeguards. This enemy unit is once again militia, and they're standing essentially no chance against my lifeguards of Prussia. So that is very terrifying. Oh, I'm just gonna stop talking and let you guys watch this entire ordeal. Finally, after much fighting, I recalled my lifeguards, and instead of sending in another unit, I sent in my marines. And these guys are just doing wonders. Once again, they're not better compared to the lifeguards, but they are still more than enough to take care of these militia. And once again, I'm just gonna let you guys watch this entire fight sequence, which is really wonderful. And once again, for those that don't know, all the bayonet sequences that you see here with troops, with European troops using bayonets against the enemies, you will find that this has been modded in by the development team. So, thank you. Eventually, I do deploy my general onto the second tier of the wall. He's not even be close to getting shot. However, you see some of my units going through climbing the walls. That was a misclick right there. For some reason, they kept climbing the walls, even though the gate you see in the background is open. For some reason, they just kept climbing. I couldn't stop them, and the only way up was to climb this wall, which is really a problem. It's AI pathfinding issues, so yeah, that's a problem. As you can see, there are some units during the climb that are about to fall. That's because they're climbing a wall, and if I'm correct, the larger the wall, the higher the wall, the more people fall, which makes sense. Once again, we are finally towards the fourth keep, and the fourth keep is one of the most important keeps. It's actually technically the place where the Lord lives. And as you can see here, I'm aligning my troops to line them up and opening fire on the enemy. And once again, it's mortar crew, so that should be more than enough to kill them. The mortar crew are not going to dismount, as a matter of fact, but I'm not even firing yet. Right now I move on my troops for the final time to open fire. And they go about firing right now. Actually, it kills a lot of them, especially at this range. What I don't understand is why the mortar crew just doesn't drop their engines or start charging at us, but hey, yeah, what do you expect? So this is a really wonderful scenery. Finally, I decided to send up the rest of my army. Here we see Württemberg infantry charging through. I wanted them to open fire at the mortar crew. As a matter of fact, I wanted them to charge at the mortar crew. For some reason, they kept charging at this building. Once again, AI pathfinding issues is a problem. But besides that, everything else is good. And once again, Württemberg infantry, they it looks like black. Oh, actually, I'm colorblind, so I really can't tell. But they're wearing dark blue, I believe, if I'm told, which once again, it's pretty historically accurate because the team really focuses on historical accuracy. Right behind them, we have Hessian line infantry just moving through. Once again, the nice details in colors and standards, which is really interesting. And with that, the battle is essentially won. We have just stormed through the keep. During the entire battle, we've lost 361, while they lost much more than the entire garrison. And the unit that got the most kills, my generals, is literally the Life Guards, to no one's surprise. These are the best trained killers that I have at my disposal. Friedrich Albert takes the victory, and we are acclaimed as our power. And once again, I'm gonna upgrade him, and to solve some issues of replenishment, I'm gonna give him logistics, and yeah, defender, which eventually we need to unlock night battles with. As you can see in the distance, the American army that was trying to reinforce Sagami is taking attrition, which is wonderful. We can finally wait for some attrition to help us out. I'm trying to move some units to Musashi to the best of my ability. As a matter of fact, I moved my mortar pieces out because I find that if you put your mortar pieces and the enemy attacks you in a siege, the mortar pieces will disappear for some reason. So I try to move my mortar pieces out before the settlement gets attacked. As you can see in Izu, American forces are beginning to move, and where the main American army is what I'm trying to find. I cannot find the main American army. I know they have a massive stack, but I just need to find them. The Americans only have 4 provinces left, and basically they have this peninsula that is choked into 2 provinces, so that's wonderful. Once again, their units are taking attrition. And finally, on the next turn, actually no, on the same turn, my bad, our agents are just going to discover what we can discover. Public order in Musashi is very high. I'm trying to get some more colonial infantry, and that's really because they're useful, especially for their price. The Americans retreat during the winter, which is a smart decision. A worthy bride for my son and heir, so that's wonderful. We failed the geisha mission, which is basically to enchant a character, and the reason why I didn't do that is because our geishas are mostly there for making the population happy. We have an enemy agent, and he is going to be a problem. Agents really do kill generals. As you can see right here, I'm trying to assassinate them, and he does get assassinated with the assassination chance of being 38, so that's wonderful. Our agent also levels up, and this is Boris, I believe. We're just gonna give him more stuff, and we're just gonna give him more stuff for, in particular, assassinations. I'm gonna try to attack the United States, their army, and the Americans, and I'm just trying to see what units I can move to actually face them on the battlefield without causing much of a problem. Obviously, lifeguards and their unit is a must, so I'm just gonna attack. And the Americans withdraw, which is wonderful. As you can see here, I'm trying to cope with replenishment left and right. It is becoming a problem, especially with me just moving into invading the United States. However, I'm attempting to bombard the enemy port, which, as you can see, is it's leveling up. I find that the AI really likes to build up instead of build their armies. But I can't, as I come to find in this campaign, you will see that the AI always has more money than we human players do, so that's gonna be a problem. Our enemy agent is detected. Friedrich with a H is detected, so that's interesting. The other Friedrich is the one with the K, and she's a geisha. And what am I doing right now? I'm seeing if there's an American Navy that you guys saw. We're still trying to replenish. The replenishment has gone from bad to still bad, but at this point it's getting better per turn. So yeah. Once again, public order is very high in that province. I'm deciding to move what units that can actually do stuff. These are the best replenish units, all above 110, I believe. And I'm gonna see if I can move even more to Sagami. As a matter of fact, I want to train more troops. For some reason, I have an agent here that I haven't moved. So I'm going to deploy my agent and have him supervise recruiting. I have literally 2 agents in Sagami supervise recruiting, and eventually that's going to be very helpful for my army. However, replenishment is still going to be a pain with 5 to 6 turns, and 5 to 6 turns, for those who don't know, is a lifetime. I decided whether to see if I can duke it out with the American Navy, and I find out, nope, I cannot even come close to duking it out. So I withdraw, and I just go back to port. As you can see, I'm still trying to find the main American army that I know is somewhere around here. And not only did more American ships pull up, but we also found the main American army led by Matthew, who is once again the faction heir for the United States. Our geishas have leveled up, so I'm gonna do stuff one by one. We found an enemy agent, which is interesting. That is very scary because if he assassinates my faction leader, that's gonna be a massive problem. And once again, agents are very good at assassinations, so I have to be careful about that. As you can see here, I'm diverting my agents to assassinate the enemy assassin, whose name is Peter. So it's my agent versus Peter. Friedrich versus Peter, as a matter of fact. Let's give our agent some life. Friedrich actually kills him, and actually no, Friedrich doesn't kill him, but he levels up, so that's wonderful. And here we are about to assault Izu. The official name is Mishima. But we're gonna level Frederick up, and we're just once again gonna give him more assassination points, which is once again more than important. However, we are gonna assault Izu on this turn, so but that is not in this episode. So have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Now, before you leave, I would like to thank you very much for watching this video. I would be honored if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Remember, more videos are coming out, so it is a good idea to click on that notification button. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.